It's Saturday, October 19th, the first day of PA's early muzzleloader season. It's pretty warm out this evening, about 66, 67 degrees. Not much wind, just a really light breeze. And not anticipating much buck movement today, so I opted to bring the inline muzzleloader and see if we can't whack another doe. Yeah, really nice evening to sit out. I'm just not sure what it's gonna do for deer movement. We got almost 2 hours until dark, so probably only a couple hundred yards from where I got my first doe. There should be a travel corridor for deer going out into the crop fields, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can drag another slickhead out of the woods this evening. Nothing but squirrels yet. Well, and chipmunks. But the sun just went down over the hill, so feels like something's about to happen. I've said this too many times, but I have no idea what happened. I couldn't see anything after I shot. I heard some deer running away, but there was other deer around, so it could have been them. The shot felt good, so I hope he's laying somewhere. Got deer walking here 40 or 50 yards from me. A little bit concerned that's the one that I shot at, and it just doesn't have any idea what happened. I guess we're on the same page if that's the case. I'll look at the footage and then go up there and see what it looks like. One of these times I'm gonna be super confident when I shoot one.
Well, I was pretty nervous there at first. I didn't know if I was gonna find anything, but I'm starting to find some blood going down through here, and it kind of looks frothy, maybe like lung blood. So TJ just got here, he's behind the camera. Looks like she's heading down over the hill, so follow the trail and see what we find.
Yeah, she's still been running pretty hard here, so.
Because of the lack of blood, we decided to back out for the night and I would return the following morning with my dad to pick up the trail.
Well, it's not looking like we're gonna find this deer. We ended up trailing the blood for another 100 yards or so. And I thought it was looking good enough that we maybe were gonna find her, but no luck. The blood ran out, and then we've been doing a body search here for the last half hour, but I'm not sure where my dad is. There's no service down here, so it'd be nice if he was standing over the deer right now, but I think he would have whistled or something at least. It's not a good feeling, I'll say that. I just keep thinking back to when my dad was still taking me hunting, and right moments before it was time to pull the trigger, he would say, "Aim good." And I think I need to say those words in my head every time I'm raising my gun or drawing my bow back, just to give myself that extra second to really center the shot. I'm gonna keep looking up through here, but it's not looking good. It's Thursday, October 24th. I'm set up in the stand where I got my buck last year. Just the back corner of a field where deer typically seem to come out earlier than we see in other spots. A little bit breezy this evening, and it was warm all week until today. We had almost a 20-degree temperature drop today, so it's a good time of year for a cold front. We're supposed to have another temperature raise tomorrow and then drop again on Saturday, so Saturday might also be good. But I got the muzzleloader for trying to get a doe at a further range, and I also got my bow with me just because this time of year, especially with a cold front, those bucks could be moving. So we'll sit back here this evening and see what happens. Another example of the biggest problem we have with this stand. I had that mature doe at maybe 35 or 40 yards behind all these thick bushes. By the time she was out past them, she was maybe 60, but she was facing straight away from me. And she just walked straight away until she was up on top of the hill. And I mean, there's some trees back there, but that's not a good enough backstop to shoot. You never know where that bullet's gonna go, so couldn't take that shot. She turned broadside, well, kind of broadside for a couple seconds, but she was just up on that hill. So hopefully in this last 30 minutes or so we can make something happen. We'll see.
of a sudden came trotting back. She came all the way into like 30, 35 yards. I didn't love that reaction, but man, I had to have nailed her. I was right on. That was a close shot. There's a little buck walking over the hill right now. Let's go. I honestly expected to see a little more blood in general and a brighter colored blood with that mule kick that she did. I'm gonna head back to the house, try to watch that footage frame by frame to verify where I hit her. Come back with some lights and maybe see if TJ will come out with me, and we'll see if we can recover this one.
Well, it's been a little over 2 hours since the shot now, and we've watched it back several times, and it's definitely not as good as I thought it was. She was quartering to a little bit, and then she had the leg that was facing me tucked back pretty far, and I unfortunately just didn't account for that. So looks like it's a far back shot. We're finding some signs that it's probably at least the eggs that came out in the guts, but hopefully enough went through the vitals that we're going to get her. So we'll start tracking and see what we come up with.
There's some right at your feet, isn't it? It's just straight up manure though.
Yeah, that ain't good. Should we not be tracking?
I don't know. I do think you probably got some lung, but I'm starting to question that.
So we're tracking this doe through the field, and all the sign we're finding is pointing towards a gut shot. But with the angle of the shot, I figured at least the entrance was able to catch some of the vitals. I was thinking maybe back of the lungs, through the liver, and then probably exited in the lower stomach. And right when we got to the point in the field where the doe turned to go down towards the woods, I picked my flashlight up, and sure enough, about 15 yards from where I last saw her go into the woods, there was eyes looking at us there. Whether it was the doe or one of the fawns that was with her, we'll never know. But with the possibility that it could have been the doe, we made the decision to back out. And there's a few reasons we made that decision, a few factors that were working in our favor there. So number one, it was going down to 30 degrees that night, so if we would let it all night and find it in the morning, the meat would be perfectly fine. Number two, I had work the next day, but my brother and my dad were able to pick up the trail in the morning. So with the option for me to be able to go to work and someone still look for the deer, it was, in my opinion, the smart decision to just back out for the night. Number three, we don't have many coyotes or anything like that in this area where we were really concerned about all the meat being lost by morning. So that was another reason we made the decision to back out. And lastly, what I would say is that deer was bedded at the top of a hill, and it is thick and nasty down over that hill. If we would have bumped that thing even once, that doe would have been extremely difficult to get out of there, because if you give those things some adrenaline, they are going to run a crazy distance, and good luck finding them after that.
Well, found Isaac's deer. Probably good we gave her some time, but didn't make far off the field edge. backing out was the right call last night. We were able to come right in here and recover his deer. Isaac's at work today, so fortunately I was able to come up and help Dad get it out, and we'll be able to recover the meat. I think it was 30-something degrees, so given the situation, probably the best result possible.
So I think we made the smart decision. Like I said, we had several factors working in our favor there, and we got the end result we wanted. It seems like the doe actually expired fairly quickly. She was stiff as a board in the morning, so yeah, more meat for the freezer. Unfortunately, the shot wasn't perfect, but going forward, we'll just have to try to do better with that. It happens to everyone, so like I said, end result was good. We got more meat in the freezer and we got lots of season left, so overall it was a great hunt.
Early muzzleloader season got off to a rough start.
It's not a good feeling, I'll say that.
But with my second doe tag filled, the freezer is starting to fill up, and we're just getting to the best time of year for bucks to be on their feet.